Officers were walking up to the vehicle. The suspect shot himself one time. Our officer immediately secured the scene, notified HFD to provide medical attention to the suspect. The suspect was transported to the hospital. And then later on, just matter of fact, just a few minutes ago, I found out that he actually passed away. So a couple of more things I want to mention was that at the original scene, the vehicle was missing, and we believe it's the same vehicle that we located here. In addition to that, a weapon was also recovered at this scene here today, and that weapon is also similar to the weapon that was used at the original scene. However, we will do more scientific testing to confirm our findings. Who was the suspect? We believe the suspect is a stepson to the father, and he's also related to the other individual that passed away at the quadruple homicide that occurred this past Sunday. The other thing I want to mention to all the viewers and everybody who's listening is we should not take family violence lightly. Obviously, this is related to family violence, and that's something I think is really preventable if we reach out to get some additional help. And there are so many different resources, so many different ways of getting help to end family violence. Incident like this, they impact especially the family, the neighbors that live next door and across from this incident, and also the community at large. So please keep all the family and everybody else in your prayers. And now I will open myself to any questions that you may have.
For clarification, so it's the father's stepson, so the mother's son?
Yes.
Are there any other suspects that you guys are looking for?
We do not believe there's any additional suspects, but we're still going to continue with the investigation.
How old was he?
I don't have that. 23? Okay, 23.
Do you have his name?
I can't provide that name at this moment, but I'm sure in due time that will be provided.
During the course of this investigation, have you guys learned what was the motive?
We don't have that motive yet, but the main thing I want to point out to you is, family violence. I mean, it just I mean, do we really need a motive in family violence incident? That's something we can all work on. Is let's end it and let's bring more love and harmony and addressing issues the other way instead of harming each other.
As far as the investigation, surveillance video from the scene show the truck leaving like 10 minutes prior to the fire being called into Houston Fire. Do we know when the victims were killed? Was it that morning? Was it earlier in the week? Can you provide any more insight as to why that guy is seen arriving and then leaving the scene?
That's a very good question. I don't have the information, but I'm sure through the ME's medical examiner's report, that information will be revealed.
Do you believe all of them were killed at the same time, or do you think they were killed at separate times?
I'm not an expert, so I really can't answer that question, but I think with the ME report, some of that information will be clarified.
And then walk us through what led you here. Was it a tip? Have you guys been following this guy? Because I know you guys have kept that information close to yourself.
Yeah.
Has he always been a suspect in your eyes?
You asked several questions, so I'll try to answer one at a time, okay? So from the original scenes, we already looked at different facts, and our investigation was leading toward him, and we do believe he's the person of interest. At this time, is there anybody else involved in that quadruple homicide? We don't believe so, but that's something we will also look into. But at this time, we don't believe there's any other suspects out there, and that's something I do want to let all the viewers in the community know. Yes, we do use investigative tools. As always, Crime Stoppers is our best source of information where the community can reach out and provide information anonymously. But we did establish some leads, which led us to great police work catching him here. That's something I'm just very proud of our officers to be able to find him here specifically. As you can see, is it may be difficult to find somebody like that, but what they did, and that's something I'm just grateful for that.
Did he have any sort of criminal history before this?
I don't have the information because everything just happened, very fast today.
Why do you think he was found here? Did he live here, or he just kind of like have people around here, or?
I don't know why he would end up here, but I remember some of you were at the original scene, and it's actually just a few miles away.
Any idea what he was doing in his truck when they approached him? Was he sleeping?
We do believe that he was sleeping, but when the officer approached him, I mean, he was awake. He wasn't surprised or anything like that.
how fast between the interaction of you arriving to him killing himself? Was it almost immediate? Was there any kind of exchange between the officer and the suspect?
There was an exchange. So it wasn't like immediately like he did this act. There was an exchange like where the officer gave him instructions.
Did he know he was armed, or how did that?
Who knew the officers?
The officer knew the suspect was armed, or because he said.
I think it's safe to assume he was armed, because as you can tell from the original homicides, we have to assume that he was armed.
So when they approached, how was the demeanor for them to approach?
Well, they used good police tactics in a safe manner to make sure that the officers don't end up getting shot at. So the tactics were really well done, and thank God that he didn't shoot at the officers.
You said that a weapon was recovered here. The same weapon that he used to kill himself, is that the weapon that was used in the murder?
Yes, at this time, the evidence we have, we do believe it's a similar weapon, but with more evidence, that would be confirmed. It's the same weapon or not.
Okay, are there any other questions?
Talk about the importance for Houston Police to bring closure to this family, because obviously 4 deaths in such a tragic way must impact not just the family, but also, as the chief said earlier this week, you guys as well.
Well, this is one of the scenes I'm not going to forget, because I remember some of you. I was at the original scene. This is something you always take away with you. This is a very tragic event that our community has experienced. Once again, I just want to reiterate family violence. That should not be taken lightly, and this is where I encourage the community, our leaders and officers, commanders, everybody's. We have to work together to reduce family violence incidents. There are so many different resources. There are many different ways of handling it. The one thing I would tell you is do not bring a weapon any type of family violence incident, because emotions get high and then you end up harming each other, which is not acceptable.
Just for clarification, he died at the scene, though?
No, he was transported to the hospital where his health deteriorated, and then, as a matter of fact, as I mentioned, I just found out a few minutes ago he passed away at the hospital.
Can you tell us exactly where he was shot?
He was shot in the head, a self-inflicting wound.
Clarify that
Okay.
there wasn't an
Get
exchange.
your name and title one more time.
Huh?
That there wasn't an exchange of gunfire. It
Oh.
was just one shot.
Yeah, so there was not an exchange of gunfire. So let me just clarify that. The officer did not discharge the firearm. The suspect just shot himself.
Can we get your name and title one more time?
Sure, my name is Yasser Bashir, and I'm an assistant chief with the Houston Police Department. And to my right is Commander Adrian Rodriguez with the Southwestern Division, and he oversees this area.
Can you spell your first name?
And your last name, Chief.
Sure, Yasar. Last name is spelled Bashir.
Thank you, Chief. Please
All
proceed.
right, question for you. Do you guys think that he had been here since Sunday?
I cannot give you a timeline since when he has been here, but I can tell you he was here as the officer set up a plan to approach him.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do you need anybody in Spanish?
Yeah, we do.
Thanks for that.
Thank you. You'll do a great job in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Give me 1 second to read that.
Let me stand over here. You need a pen or anything? Oh, here.
Y'all ready?
Hold on 5 seconds. And
Chief, get a little more closer to him. Right there, face to him.
Just let you know, there was shade earlier.
Mm-hmm.
there was.
I was trying to put you there, but the shade went away.
Yeah.
I know, it keeps moving. Okay,
¿Qué es lo que sucedió?
go ahead.
Que mi nombre es Adrián Rodríguez, soy comandante del South Gessner estación, que está muy cerca de este lugar aquí. Estamos aquí en esta calle porque encontramos lo que pensamos que es el persona del caso que pasó domingo, cuando hubo 4 muertos en la casa. Lo que tenemos hoy tenemos un señor que estábamos buscando para preguntarle unas preguntas. Teníamos el tipo de camioneta que estaba en la casa de domingo y lo encontramos aquí en esta calle. Lo que pasó hoy es que encontramos la camioneta, los oficiales estaban aquí mirando lo que estaba pasando, si hay una persona adentro de la camioneta, encontraron un hombre que estaba dormido adentro de la troca, y cuando estaban caminando para hablar con él, se dio un tiro en la cabeza, un solo tiro en la cabeza. Hablamos la ambulancia y lo llevamos al hospital, donde ya los dijeron que ya se murió el señor. Este señor tiene 23 años y es el hijastro del padre y de la casa que hubo 4 muertos en esa casa domingo. Nosotros agarramos la pistola que tenía el señor y creemos que es igual que usó el domingo, pero vamos a hacer una investigación a verificar que todo está correcto. Es todo lo que tengo. ¿Tienen preguntas?
¿Es la camioneta, la troca blanca?
Sí, la troca blanca es que estábamos buscando, y los oficiales lo encontraron en esta calle, y cuando querían hablar con el señor, se dio un tiro en la cabeza.
¿Y de quién es la troca?
Es del papá. We good?
Anything else?
¿Estamos bien? Sí.
Well, no question.
Okay.
All right.
What?
I'm ready.
You ready? Okay, hold on.
Wait for Jody.
I gotta hit go live. I'll give you a thumbs up when it says go. Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yasser Bashir, and I'm an assistant chief with the Houston Police Department in Patrol Region 3. And to my right is Commander Adrian Rodriguez with the South Gessner Division. So today, I have a couple of things I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is a tragic incident that happened on September 5th at 7518 Imogene. So what happened at that original scene was we had a quadruple homicide, which also had 2 juveniles that passed away. So what happened was our investigators started to immediately start investigating that crime scene, and through witnesses and through evidence, we were to establish a suspect in that case. So during those time period, our officers were out looking for that suspect, which led us to the scene today. So what happened today was that our officers were able to locate a vehicle that was missing from the original scene, and also they were able to identify a suspect that matched the suspect that were originally was mentioned to us by the witnesses at the original scene. So today our officers were able to locate that vehicle, and as the officers were walking up to the vehicle, the suspect shot himself 1 time. And our officer immediately secured the scene, notified HFD to provide medical attention to the suspect. The suspect was transported to the hospital, and then later on, just matter of fact, just a few minutes ago, I found out that he actually passed away. So a couple of more things I want to mention was that at the original scene, the vehicle was missing, and we believe it's the same vehicle that we located here. In addition to that, a weapon was also recovered at this scene here today, and that weapon is also similar to the weapon that was used at the original scene. However, we will do more scientific testing to confirm our findings. Who was the suspect? We believe the suspect is a stepson to the father, and he's also related to the other individual that passed away at the quadruple homicide that occurred this past Sunday. The other thing I want to mention to all the viewers and everybody who's listening is we should not take family violence lightly. Obviously, this is related to family violence, and that's something I think is really preventable if we reach out to get some additional help. And there are so many different resources, so many different ways of getting help to end family violence. Incident like this, they impact especially the family, the neighbors that live next door and across from this incident, and also the community at large. So please keep all the family and everybody else in your prayers. And now I will open myself to any question that you may have.
I got the still shot. I'm gonna have a little bit
7:20 de la mañana llegaron precisamente aquí porque encontraron este vehículo. Esa es la información que confirmaron autoridades del Departamento de Policía de la ciudad de Houston a través del asistente, el jefe Bashir, quien prácticamente confirmó que este incidente está vinculado al primer incidente del domingo, que fue el asesinato múltiple de 4 integrantes de una familia hispana, el señor Cairo, Elvira y sus 2 hijos. Ahora, ellos han confirmado que la persona que fue encontrada aquí es el hijo hijastro de esta pareja y que a su vez, pues el vehículo en el que estaba esta persona en el interior, pues es el vehículo que pertenecía al padrastro, a la persona que perdió la vida el pasado domingo. Este joven, una vez que llegaron las autoridades, desgraciadamente ni siquiera hubo una interacción entre ellos, según han confirmado autoridades, y posteriormente se disparó en la cabeza. Eso es lo que dijeron autoridades hace unos instantes en esta conferencia de prensa que acaba de concluir aquí en la calle Alder, donde todavía está esta presencia de los oficiales del orden tratando de poner en orden esta situación, este incidente que desgraciadamente terminó de esta manera. Escuchemos. Y bien, eso es lo que dijeron autoridades hace instantes. Es el Departamento de Policía de la ciudad de Houston confirmando que se trata del sospechoso, de la persona que tenían como principal vinculado a los asesinatos que ocurrieron el pasado domingo, que precisamente pues mantuvieron a las autoridades en jaque hasta el día de hoy. Muchísimas gracias por seguirnos también a través de nuestras redes sociales, donde le hemos estado informando oportunamente de toda esta situación. Mientras tanto, regreso con ustedes. Yo no sabía que estaban poniendo. I mean, sí, yo me conecté bien,
big move. You need a copy of this?
Yeah.
I got the sound and everything. So I don't know what the chopper got, but it's a white pickup truck. He was in the pickup truck when he shot himself. He died at the hospital.
Is it suicide?
He was the guy that killed 4 people.
Oh,
Close to here.